The Royal Hammam, a whispered name, a place of both exquisite pleasure and chilling dread. Imagine walls of polished marble, shimmering under the soft glow of countless lanterns. The air, thick with the cloying sweetness of rosewater and myrrh, yet laced with an undercurrent of something else, something metallic, faintly acrid. Intricate mosaics, depicting scenes of idyllic gardens and playful nymphs, adorn the walls, a stark contrast to the cold, hard reality of the place. Steam, fragrant and almost suffocating, hangs heavy in the air, obscuring the edges of the vast chamber. This is where beauty is born, and where it can so easily be destroyed. Here, the Grand Bathkeeper, Eunuch Bashak, a figure of chilling efficiency, oversees the ritual. His face, impassive and severe, betrays nothing of the horrors he's witnessed within these walls. His movements are precise, his commands delivered in a low, resonant voice that echoes through the cavernous space. He is the conductor of this macabre orchestra, each attendant a perfectly tuned instrument in his deadly symphony. The physician priestess, Sister Seltzi, her eyes gleaming with a fanatic gleam, moves with a quiet grace that belies the chilling purpose of her presence. Her robes, starched and immaculate, seem to absorb the steam, leaving them crisp and uncompromising, much like her expression. She is the dispenser of sacred rites, a guise thinly veiling her role in the carefully orchestrated tragedy about to unfold. Other attendants, their faces obscured by the steam, flit about like shadows, their movements precise and almost mechanical. They are silent witnesses to the events that unfold here. Their silence is heavy as the marble beneath their feet. The opulence is suffocating, a gilded cage masking the true nature of this place, a temple where beauty and death intertwine in a grotesque embrace. This is not merely a spa, it is a stage set for a performance of horrifying elegance, a prelude to the unspeakable. The air itself vibrates with the unspoken, a silent promise of violence veiled in the fragrant steam. For Hasaki Layla, this sanctuary promises not rejuvenation, but a chilling, unforgettable ordeal. The Vizier Karahu's orders, whispered behind closed doors, echo in the very stones. This ritual, intended to cleanse, will instead become a profound and horrifying stain. Haseki Layla, barely 17, stepped into the royal hammam with the innocent grace of a fawn. Her eyes, wide and trusting, took in the breathtaking opulence, the shimmering marble, the soft glow of the lanterns, the intoxicating scent of exotic oils. For a moment, the whispers and averted gazes of the attendants were lost in the overwhelming beauty of her surroundings. This was paradise, she thought, a sanctuary of exquisite luxury, a place of cleansing and renewal. Little did she know the true nature of this paradise. The silken robes she wore, the delicate scent of jasmine clinging to her hair, were merely superficial adornments masking a deeper, more sinister reality. Her smile, radiant and carefree, was a stark contrast to the chilling undercurrent of tension that permeated the air. As she walked, the hushed whispers followed her like shadows, a morbid counterpoint to the gentle lapping of water in the nearby basins. The attendants, their faces impassive, avoided her gaze, their movements oddly precise, almost mechanical. Their silence spoke volumes, a language of fear and foreboding that Layla, in her youthful naivete, failed to comprehend. There were subtle clues, of course. The glint of steel beneath a folded towel, the almost imperceptible tremor in the hand of a passing servant, the way Sister Seltzi's eyes, though seemingly kind, held a chilling intensity. But Layla, caught up in the beauty of her surroundings, dismissed these as mere figments of her imagination, the nervous flutter of anticipation before a sacred ritual. She was about to learn, however, that some rituals are far more sacred than others. Her innocent steps were carrying her not towards purification, but into the heart of a meticulously crafted abyss. The fragrant steam, once a symbol of cleansing, now felt heavy with the weight of impending doom. Her ignorance was a fragile shield, soon to be shattered. The ritual began subtly, a deceptive dance of beauty and dread. Fragrant oils, a blend of exotic herbs and spices, were poured over Layla's skin, their heady scent momentarily masking the underlying tension. Smooth, heated stones were placed beneath her, their warmth a deceptive comfort against the chilling anticipation that clung to the air like a shroud. The sound of running water, cascading from intricately carved spouts, filled the chamber, a soothing counterpoint to the silent dread that pulsed beneath the surface. Sister Celsie's hands, though gentle, moved with a practiced precision, each touch carrying a subtle weight, a hidden purpose. The chanting, a hypnotic drone that filled the vast chamber, seemed to both lull and unsettle, a discordant symphony of piety and impending horror. Layla, her senses overwhelmed by the sensory overload, found herself caught in a web of conflicting emotions. The exquisite fragrances, the soothing sounds, the gentle touch, all conspired to create a veil of sanctity, a deceptive facade hiding the true nature of the ritual. The water, initially tepid, began to grow warmer, its temperature rising slowly, almost imperceptibly. Layla, lulled by the hypnotic rhythm of the chanting and the seductive caress of the steam, barely registered the change. She closed her eyes, surrendering to the sensory experience, unaware that the warmth was a prelude to something far more intense, far more terrifying. The smooth stones beneath her, once comforting, now felt subtly oppressive, their weight pressing down on her, a tangible manifestation of the growing dread. The music, once soothing, now held a sinister undertone, a discordant note hinting at the grim reality that lay hidden beneath the veil of sanctity. This carefully orchestrated prelude, this exquisite torture, was designed to lull her into a false sense of security, a cruel preparation for the horrifying climax to come. The fragrant steam, once intoxicating, now seemed heavy with the scent of impending doom. The mask of beauty began to crack, revealing the horrifying reality beneath. The fragrant oils were replaced by a burning concoction, its acrid scent stinging Layla's nostrils. The gentle touch of Sister Celsie transformed into something far more brutal, a sharp, searing pain as instruments, disguised as cosmetic tools, scraped against her delicate skin. The soothing music morphed into a discordant shriek, mirroring the escalating terror in Layla's heart. The steam, once fragrant, now carried the nauseating stench of blood, a chilling testament to the escalating horror. Layla's eyes snapped open, her initial serenity shattered by the excruciating pain. Her skin, once smooth and flawless, was now raw and bleeding, the victim of a grotesque beautification ritual. The burning sensation was unbearable, a searing agony that spread through her body like wildfire. Each touch of the instruments felt like a fresh violation, a deliberate infliction of pain masked by the pretense of cosmetic enhancement. Her screams, initially muffled by the hypnotic chanting, grew louder, more desperate. But her pleas were lost in the rhythmic drone, swallowed by the suffocating steam. The attendants, their faces impassive, continued their work, their movements mechanical, their eyes devoid of empathy. This was not a cleansing ritual, it was a carefully orchestrated torture, a deliberate infliction of pain designed to break her spirit, to transform her beauty into a grotesque parody. The once luxurious setting now felt like a chamber of horrors, the fragrant steam a suffocating blanket of dread. Layla's screams became a desperate plea lost in the decadent atmosphere of the royal spa, a testament to the horrifying reality concealed beneath the mask of beauty. The once beautiful setting had become a grotesque stage, the actors playing out their parts with chilling precision. The attendants continued their work with a chilling detachment, their efficiency a stark contrast to Layla's escalating terror. Eunuch Bashak, his face impassive, meticulously cleaned the instruments, his movements precise and almost ritualistic. Sister Celsa, her expression unreadable, continued her ministrations, her hands moving with practiced skill, each touch a fresh wave of agony for Layla. Their cold professionalism, their utter lack of empathy, added another layer of horror to the scene. They were not sadists reveling in cruelty. They were technicians, performing a gruesome task with the detached efficiency of skilled artisans. Their indifference was a chilling testament to the normalization of violence within the palace walls. Observing the scene from a shadowed alcove was the Venetian envoy, his gaze fixed on Layla with a disturbing mixture of detached curiosity and morbid fascination. His expression was unreadable, a mask of polite interest concealing whatever emotions churned beneath. He meticulously documented the events in his ledger, his pen scratching across the parchment a rhythmic counterpoint to Layla's screams. His presence, a silent observer of this grotesque spectacle, highlighted the casual brutality of the court, a barbarity considered normal, even acceptable, within these gilded walls. The contrast between Layla's agony and the cold indifference of those around her was stark and unsettling. Her screams, her pleas, her very existence seemed insignificant, mere background noise in the meticulously orchestrated ritual. The envoy's impassive observation, the attendant's detached efficiency, all served to amplify Layla's isolation, her utter helplessness in the face of such casual cruelty. This was not a spontaneous outburst of violence, it was a carefully choreographed performance, a spectacle of pain and indifference, played out for the silent judgment of a detached observer from a distant land. The scene was a perverse ballet of suffering and callous disregard, a chilling testament to the dark heart of power. Layla's screams, initially desperate pleas, devolved into ragged gasps, her voice a raw, broken instrument. Her body, once the epitome of youthful beauty, was now a ravaged landscape of pain. The skin, once smooth and flawless, was torn and bleeding, a grotesque parody of its former glory. Her eyes, once bright with youthful exuberance, now reflected a bottomless well of despair, the light extinguished by the relentless onslaught of pain. Hope, a fragile ember, flickered and threatened to die. Fragments of her past life flashed before her eyes, the warmth of her family's home, the laughter of her childhood friends, the simple joys of a life untouched by the cruelty of the palace. These fleeting memories only served to intensify her current agony, a stark contrast between the innocence she once knew and the brutal reality of her present. Each memory was a fresh stab of loss, a painful reminder of everything she had lost, everything she was losing. Her pleas for mercy, initially fervent, grew weaker, more desperate. The words, once clear and distinct, became slurred and indistinct, a broken whisper lost in the suffocating steam. Her body trembled, not just from the pain, but from the crushing weight of despair. The carefully orchestrated ritual, designed to purify, was instead stripping her of everything, her dignity, her hope, her very essence. She was a broken doll, her beauty mutilated, her spirit crushed under the weight of the court's casual cruelty. The once bright spark in her eyes was now a flickering flame, threatening to extinguish completely, leaving behind only the vacant shell of a young woman consumed by the darkness of the palace. The once vibrant life force within her was slowly being drained, replaced by a chilling emptiness, a profound despair that mirrored the bleak landscape of her present reality. The opulent setting of the royal spa now felt like a tomb, its decadent atmosphere a suffocating cloak of impending doom. A large, ornate mirror, reflecting Layla's ravaged beauty, shattered with a resounding crash, mirroring the destruction of her spirit. The fragments, scattered across the marble floor, were like shards of a broken dream, each piece a testament to the brutal reality that had replaced her innocent aspirations. The reflection, once a symbol of youthful beauty, was now a grotesque caricature, a reflection of the cruelty inflicted upon her. The shattered glass mirrored the fractured state of her mind, the shattered hopes of a life cruelly stolen. The ornate crown intended for her head lay discarded nearby, its glittering jewels mocking her ruined beauty. It was a symbol of her forced role within the court, a role she could no longer fulfill. The crown, meant to represent power and beauty, now represented only failure and broken dreams. It was a crown of thorns, a symbol of her suffering, a testament to the court's ruthless disregard for human life. It lay there, a cold, metallic reminder of her forced elevation and subsequent fall from grace. The crown, intended to adorn her, was now a symbol of her ultimate inadequacy in the eyes of the court. Its weight, once a mark of power, now represented the crushing weight of her despair. The juxtaposition of the shattered mirror and the discarded crown served as a potent symbol of Layla's ruined life. Her beauty, once a source of pride, was now a grotesque reminder of her suffering. Her aspirations, once bright and full of promise, were now shattered fragments, reflecting the cruel reality of her situation. The scene was a silent testament to the court's casual brutality, a chilling reminder of the fragility of life and the ruthless pursuit of power, even at the cost of innocent lives. The discarded crown and the shattered mirror were the ultimate symbols of her broken spirit and the court's callous indifference. Layla's ordeal was not an isolated incident. It was a chilling reflection of the casual cruelty that often lurked beneath the veneer of opulence in historical courts. Throughout history, the pursuit of beauty has often intersected with violence, blurring the lines between cosmetic enhancement and outright torture. The desire for flawless skin, youthful appearance, and unattainable ideals has driven individuals to extremes, often at the expense of others. The normalization of such practices within elite circles is a disturbing testament to the unchecked power wielded by those in positions of authority. The story of Layla echoes the chilling tales of other women throughout history who were subjected to similar forms of cosmetic torture. The use of harsh chemicals, painful procedures, and even outright violence in the name of beauty was not uncommon. These practices, often cloaked in the guise of ritual or tradition, served as a stark reminder of the power dynamics at play and the vulnerability of those at the bottom of the social hierarchy. The pursuit of beauty in these instances became a twisted form of control, a means of subjugating and controlling those deemed less powerful. The indifference displayed by the palace staff towards Layla's suffering was not unique. History is replete with examples of elites who normalized violence, viewing it as a necessary tool for maintaining their power and authority. The casual brutality depicted in Layla's story reflects a chilling pattern of behavior, a pattern that transcends time and culture. The normalization of cruelty, the acceptance of suffering as a means to an end, serves as a potent reminder of the dark side of human nature and the dangers of unchecked power. Layla's story is not merely a work of fiction, it is a cautionary tale, a chilling reminder of the consequences of allowing violence to become normalized within society. The echoes of her suffering resonate through history, a grim testament to the enduring nature of cruelty and the ever-present danger of unchecked power. The opulent facade of the palace hides a sinister truth, a truth that continues to haunt the corridors of history. The aftermath of the ritual was a grotesque parody of sanctity. The steam-filled hammam, moments before a scene of unspeakable cruelty, was now eerily silent, the lingering scent of blood and exotic oils, a perverse perfume, clinging to the opulent marble. The court, however, perceived the event as a sacred purification, a necessary cleansing ritual. Vizier Karahu, his face impassive, declared the ceremony a resounding success, his words dripping with the hypocrisy that characterized the court. The whispers of the eunuchs and concubines, usually a constant hum in the palace, were replaced by an uneasy silence, a testament to the unspoken terror that gripped them all. Sister Celsi, her face serene, meticulously cleaned the bloodstains from the marble floor, her movements precise and almost ritualistic. The act of cleaning in itself was a macabre performance, a desperate attempt to erase the evidence of the brutality that had unfolded. The very air seemed to hold its breath, heavy with the unspoken truth that lay beneath the veneer of normalcy. The contrast between the court's perception of the event and the horrific reality of Layla's suffering was stark and deeply disturbing. The sacred purification had become a grotesque mockery, a ritualistic sacrifice offered at the altar of vanity and power. The dark irony was palpable. The hammam, designed as a sanctuary of relaxation and rejuvenation, had become a chamber of horrors. The fragrant oils and soothing waters, intended to cleanse and purify, had been instruments of torture. The court's sanctimonious pronouncements about purification served only to highlight the hypocrisy at the heart of their actions. Their carefully constructed narrative of religious purity was a thin veil concealing a brutal reality, a testament to their casual cruelty and disregard for human life. The silence that followed Layla's ordeal was not a silence of peace, but a silence born of fear, a chilling testament to the power of those who could perpetrate such acts with impunity. The sanctity of brutality had been established, and the court moved on, their consciences as untouched as the meticulously polished marble floor. The silence that followed Layla's ordeal was heavy, suffocating. It was the silence of complicity, the silence of those who had witnessed a horrific act and chosen to remain silent. The opulent hammam, once a symbol of luxury and indulgence, now stood as a monument to brutality, its marble surfaces gleaming with a chilling stillness. The lingering scent of blood and exotic oils clung to the air, a macabre perfume that spoke volumes about the darkness that lurked beneath the surface of the court. Layla's fate remains shrouded in the silence of the palace. Was she left to die, her broken body a testament to the court's casual cruelty? Or was her death a more deliberate act, meticulously planned and executed as part of the ritual? The answers remain lost within the labyrinthine corridors of the palace, hidden behind locked doors and guarded by the watchful eyes of eunuch Bashak and his silent cohorts. The court, cloaked in its veneer of piety and power, moved on, leaving Layla's memory to fade into the shadows. Her story, however, lingers, a chilling reminder of the cost of beauty and power within a corrupt system. It serves as a cautionary tale, a haunting testament to the fragility of life and the insidious nature of unchecked power. The lingering stain on the marble floor of the hammam, a silent witness to unspeakable cruelty, serves as a potent symbol of the enduring consequences of violence and hypocrisy. The silence of the palace echoes through time, a constant reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of even the most opulent settings. The unanswered questions about Layla's fate remain, a haunting reminder of the unspoken horrors that can occur behind closed doors within the gilded cages of power. The cost of beauty, in this corrupt court, was ultimately measured in silence and blood.